I just listened to the first part of Jamie Kern Lima's new book. She's the founder of It Cosmetics, and her new book is Believe It, and I wanted to share my take on it. And Jamie Kern Lima is the founder and CEO of It Cosmetics, and she started the company in her living room with her husband, and they sold it for $1 billion, so she's extremely successful. The first part of the book, which is Believe, she talks about her childhood and her struggles as an entrepreneur and how she got where she got. They started the company. It took them 6 years to actually be able to make a significant amount of money from it, or to be able to pay themselves. They did everything, her and her husband and somebody that one person that they eventually hired did everything, all the roles of the company, and they could finally, after 6 years, get a yes from QVC to be able to have a 10-minute to go on there and sell their products, and they had to meet a certain amount of sales to be able to even call it a success. If they hit that much sales, they would be able to keep the company. If they didn't, they would lose everything and go bankrupt. And it was very, very interesting. I listened to this book, the first part of it, it would give me chills the whole time. I couldn't even put it on pause because it's just so interesting the way she intimately shares everything and everything they went through, and how many times she could have called it a quit, but she didn't, and she followed her intuition. And she was some part of it, she was talking about her childhood and the struggles she had as a little girl. And she talks about how her parents got divorced when she was just 6 years old, how her dad used to be an alcoholic, and after the divorce he changes and he gets remarried, and her mom gets remarried, and she has a bigger family then, and how at being 30 years old she figures out that she was adopted. What really keeps me thinking is that as parents, we try to do our best for our children. You know, we try to be conscious parents, do everything right, make sure they have everything, make sure we provide everything, make sure we treat them right, and read so many psychology books, read so many parenting books, take so many classes. At least that's what I do. And somebody who is raised with, I don't know what to call it, I don't want to call it bad parenting, but situations that were unfortunate. Somebody who didn't know even she was adopted until later on in life. All these dealing with an alcoholic dad. She was talking about how she would sit by her dad's bed waiting for hours until he wakes up and be able to play with her or spend time with her, because he was an alcoholic and he couldn't wake up in the mornings. And everything that she was talking about, another kid could have been in her situation and been crippled for life, but with her she became more ambitious, and she chose routes in life that made her really successful because of everything that she experienced. So since I listened to it, I've been thinking that we think environments make a child who they are, but maybe the children are born with certain personality and certain character, and they form their environment the way they want it to be based on their personality. It's so interesting to me that a lot of kids grow up with parents that do so much for them and give them so much, and they're wealthy and they have amenities for the kids. They put them in different classes. They just do so much for the kid, and the kids end up being very problematic. But then somebody like her and many others that have very challenging childhoods, they end up being these successful, amazing individuals that impact the world in a big way. And that really made me think, I've been thinking in the past few days since I listened to the book, that maybe as parents we're really just filling a role for our kids and holding space to them to the best of our ability, and that kid is the one who really chooses what to do with everything that they see. They could see terrible things and grab it and turn it into something positive. Like her, she had a lot of problem with her body image and with confidence and all that, and she grabbed all that and turned it into something so positive. She learned from their struggles with her parents, and another kid could see that and be in the same exact situation. Like two siblings would be in the same situation, same parents, same conditions, and they turn out to be so different. Same thing, another kid could have situation in her shoes and completely have a different take and choose a different route in life. So at the end of the day, the role of parenting obviously is very important, but it doesn't all come down to what the parents do and don't do for the kid. At the end of the day, that child would grab whatever they observe and translate it into things and beliefs in their head and choose based on that translation. And the translation comes from the personality that the kid has. This is a very interesting thing for me because obviously I'm a new parent and I'm learning a lot about parenting, and I'm like really doing my best that I can with my kid, like every other parent does. But I feel like the kid is going to end up being who they are no matter what, and obviously the environment around them affect them a lot, but they choose what effect the environment would have on them, and they choose what path to pick in life. I would love to hear your take on this and what you think about it. Leave me a comment. I'm very curious to see how other people view this, and if my perspective is something common that you think about it the same way, or you have a complete view on it. I hope to hear from you. If you liked the video, please give it a thumb up and share it with your friend and family. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when I post videos on a weekly basis.